You may have heard the name Burdett or Bird Sisler. Well, he's been on the news quite a bit lately, and here you'll hear some of his advice. He had fantastic advice for us older adults, advice that can help you live longer and live better, just like he did. You see, Mr. Sisler came into the world April 13th, 1915, and left at April 2nd, 2026, just 2 weeks shy of his 111th birthday. He had become something rare. He was the oldest living Canadian. But what's so remarkable is that he just didn't exist through those years. He thrived through those years right up until the end. He was so engaged in so many aspects of his life. He married the love of his life just days after Britain declared war in Germany in 1939. Not long after that, he enlisted in the army and served his country. When the war ended, Bird and his wife built a family. A big family. They had 5 children and ended up with 14 great-great-grandchildren. Now that's a family tree. He lived in his own home until he was 107 years old. You don't see that every day. And he did have help from his family, and they were close. He grew old gracefully. He stayed active and stayed engaged, and he connected with people. Some of the activities he engaged in included bingo, where he was a caller, and he bowled on a regular basis. These kept him in touch with people. And with the bowling, you have to move to bowl, and movement is good as we age. He also told us he had never been to a hospital, even when he was born, because he was born on the kitchen table. His insights to the world were important then, and they still are. Here's one of his insights, and you may or may not agree with it. But remember, he had a lot of years behind him, a lot of life experience. And here's what he said. It was a sensible place to be at one time. When I look at the news and weather, everything seems out of line. Nobody seems to think about the other person anymore, only about themselves and how much money they can grab. He avoided the rat race and he didn't pull any punches. Another insight of his is this. Everything everyone does matters. It sounds simple, but coming from a man who lived through war, loss, so much change, and over a century of life, it carries a lot of weight. He believed deeply in the golden rule. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. This was not just an idea for him or just words, but it was a daily practice. And when people asked him for the secret to a long, happy life, he didn't give complicated answers. He said stuff like this: don't drink, don't smoke, and take up bowling. And one more piece of advice was finish all your food in the plate. And he did finish all the food in his place, right up until the very end. Bird Sisler just didn't live a long life. He lived a full life. We can learn from him. I would have loved to have met him. Here's to you, Bird. Thanks for watching. Now, I do have a lot more videos geared towards the health and safety for older adults just over here. So please click and take a look. Also, you'll be getting advice from people you may recognize, such as,
we must not fall. I'll say that again. We must not fall. We must not fall.
and the King himself.
It's extremely important. You must not fall, all right?
So please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out.